Testing.
Testing, testing. Hello.
Is that?
This is off the cuff.
With Zane, with Des and Zane.
Thank you so much for joining us. We have Mac Smiff as our guest today.
Yes.
We'll be talking about the local hip hop scene.
Yes.
We just got all of our sound working and everything, so
It's going to
here
be
we are.
playing into all of the microphones. You're going to hear it 4 times. If it was funny the first time, imagine the 3rd time.
Great. All right.
Well, excellent.
So yeah, our show we talk about local Portland music. Trying to talk to 2 mics. Trying to take over. We talk about hip hop. We talk about punk. We talk about maybe country. Who knows?
Hey, if it's good country, I just like good music. So honestly, anybody who represents good music is that's somebody who I want to talk with.
Exactly.
So, well, excellent. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are
Excellent.
you ready?
I'm stoked for this.
I'm
I've been waiting
totally
for this
ready.
all week, so I'm
I've been
definitely
waiting for this my whole life.
You're like based. I mean, I just wanted to do a music podcast. Excellent. Well, dope. Let's have our guest on over here, and let's get this thing going. Excellent.
Ready?
Dope. All right. Well, real quick, let's go ahead and welcome our guest, Mac Smiff. Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. And I don't think I formally met you. Nice to
We've
meet
met
you.
a million times,
Oh
though.
my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. So far, so good.
Right.
I was gonna say, dude, I saw the dreads and I was like, dude, I know this fool.
Yeah,
I know this fool.
definitely. I saw the fro and I was like, yeah.
That's how we know each other. It's
Right,
like I know that hair. I know that hair.
Hairstyles. It's a black man.
And everybody recognizes me because it's like I look like a highlighter, so they can always find me in a crowd.
It's the lighting.
Dope.
So you've been a part of the hip hop scene, Mac, for a very long time, right? And you produce the Thesis, which is a hip hop showcase right here in Portland,
Yeah.
and you have it every month at Kelly's Olympian.
Correct.
Yes.
How long has that been a production?
We've been doing a thesis since December 2014. So,
Okay.
pretty long time.
Yeah.
Like
So
7 years.
2014.
Yeah, 2014.
Whew, man.
So minus the or at least part of the pandemic, yeah, it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's super crazy. How did you get into like producing a show of your own? Was it?
Wow, I've actually been dabbling in show production for years. I started off doing rap stuff myself in like 2000, 2001. And so we used to, like throw our own shows because back in the day, that's what everybody did. We
Yeah.
went to, like the Meow Meow and Satiricon and all those places and just do our own shows. So Tiger Bar, so I kind of had experience that way. And then after doing a bunch of press work, I just was like, I want to start throwing shows again. So we
Yeah.
started this one.
So was it like kind of out of necessity of like, if I want to have a show and I want to see the people who I want to see, I'm going to have to throw that?
Kind of, but honestly, I'm going to be real with you. I just got tired of going to shows that had like 18 rappers on the bill because I can't stay up that long. I get tired. So I was like, we need to have shows that showcase the artists like I actually want to see and not the ones I don't want to see and just have them and then like actually pay them so they'll keep on coming back. So that was the plan. That's what
Yeah.
I executed on.
Yeah.
Right. And you had also mentioned that you would go to these rap shows and the cops would show up because they're like, oh, this is rap music, so there must be trouble happening.
Yeah.
There must be trouble afoot.
We used to like do our flyers with like digital art, so like it wouldn't look like a rap show. It would look like something else. It would just look like like it could be a comedy show, it could be jazz, or
Just a microphone on the thing.
spoken word thing, whatever. But we wouldn't like advertise as rap shows because back then the same guys that joined the RRT later used to like jump in our hip hop shows and shut them down just for capacity or whatever it was.
Yeah. No, I was reading about that, just kind of like the problems that Portland has had with trying to get hip hop shows going because they use that like, oh, this looks like it could be trouble.
Exactly. And it's also the big like conflation. Like if you have like a Roddy Rod is coming up from LA and they're like that's one thing the cops would be like, oh, that's a hip hop show that could have problems as opposed to like I'm going to be headlining Fontaine from North Portland and we're just going to have a rap show and they're like, oh, it's the same thing. It's not the same thing.
Yeah,
It's
no.
a whole different thing.
No,
what I
that's
mean?
a fully
or
good
like
way
you're
of
playing YG in your club versus we're just having like a kickback.
Yeah.
It's a difference, even though like playing YG in the club shouldn't be a reason for the cops to come.
Exactly.
It's not the same as I'm having a rap show over here with a bunch of guys freestyling.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
But that word hip hop was scary back then, so we had to really like break the barriers down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Do you think that that's something that you've made a lot of progress on? Like the thesis is kind of recognized as like, I don't want to say this, but like one of the good ones, or like I don't know how else to word it, because I know how the cops look at it.
No, I feel you, and I mean, and we've had the cops. I mean, Brent Taylor busted up the thesis years ago.
Brent Taylor.
Brent Taylor himself. Yeah, himself.
Yeah, I don't know if I know who that is.
You don't want to know.
He's one of the riot cops that was.
He's one of the bad ones.
He was
He's
a stabby
one of the
guy.
bad
I was stabbing
ones.
with tires. I was that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he used to like bust up our hip hop shows and stuff too. So I mean, I wouldn't say that like we're one of the good ones. I actually had to kick the cops out one time.
You're like, sorry, you're not invited.
Because we had someone had like a seizure, so someone called 911. The paramedics came, but the cops came and started like trying to clear the room, and I was like,
assumed they knew
and
what
I
it
was like,
was.
I had to be like, yo, because at the point I was like doing like a bunch of security stuff, so I kind of like knew the laws and the rules, and I was like, yo, you guys can't be here, and they're like, we're the cops, and I was like, yeah, but I'm the agent of the space, therefore you don't have permission to be here, you're now trespassing, and they were like, what? And they just like had to dip, and so that worked out well, but like they stopped messing with us after a while, I think.
Good.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. It sucks that you kind of have to like build up a reputation as like a safe space, but that you're combating against that just to perform.
I mean, I've been throwing shows for over 15 years, and like I've never had an incident at any of my events that resulted in like any kind of like actual violence or anything like that.
Good.
Like, I mean, there's been like a couple like little like people kind of get into it
Skirmish,
and start to like, but like it's never been like anybody shot, stabbed, knocked out, anything like that at any of my events. So I'm like always like, it's hard to jump on me when I've been that efficient.
Yeah,
about it,
absolutely.
But it's all about having community.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So you said before that you were involved, you did music production prior to that?
Not production, I just rapped.
Okay.
I was just rapping.
It's not
I was
just rapping.
rapping.
That's a
Yeah.
whole thing.
I was just
For
barring
real.
out, using a whole bunch of big words, trying to be cool. That's what
I
was
could see
about.
you doing some pretty lyrical
It's
stuff.
lyrically, yeah. I was in that zone. I have a friend who just recently sent me a thing, and he was like, it was like this comedy sketch of this guy like using all these big words in a rap. He's like, this is how it was when I first met you, and I'm like, thanks. That's why I write.
What a
now.
cool thing to be known for, though.
Yeah. I got laughed at. Well, not laughed, but people. I don't know if it was like awe or comedy, but I used like a what's the word I used? The gorgonzola in a rhyme one time. People were like,
That's
no way. And I
fucking
was like,
baller.
I'll use any word I can use, bro.
Dude,
That's
Yeah.
sick.
that's
Just a nerd.
what made you kind of fall away from like the performance aspect of it?
Asthma.
Okay,
that was the
that's a good
biggest
ass
thing.
reason.
Yeah.
I kept on tearing my vocal cords, rapping like it would be this season, and like I didn't know how to like properly take care of my throat, like as far as like taking Claritin stuff like that. So I would like every spring summer I would start like tearing up vocal cords. I would have shows booked up, and then I would like have to cancel because I couldn't
Cancel.
actually show up, or I'd be rapping like that when I got there.
Yeah.
But I mean, that sounds kind of cool, but
It does. I had some really good shows like that, but
Pretty.
but also like it hurts a lot. And then also like I got to the beautiful age of 30, and I realized that like if I wasn't like touring and doing big shows at this point in my career, especially in the way that hip hop was at that time, like now there's kind of a space for the elder statesman, but back then it was like it's like you're young or you're gone,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
At 30, I was kind of like, yo. I had a good run. I
Yeah.
had a lot of shows. I played all over the state. I opened up for Macklemore. It was
Yeah.
cool,
Wow.
cool stuff.
Whoa.
And that was
pretty
kind of
dope.
like the end. That's it. That's enough for
You're
me.
like, I did it.
Yeah.
I made it.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, that's kind of cool that you. First off, elder statesman is a dope ass way. I'm calling myself that from now on.
There you go.
But I think that it's cool that we always have this idea of like, I want to make it, but we don't really have a set destination of what it looks like when you make it,
No, we don't. We
and
don't.
so therefore we end up going on forever and then being disappointed that we didn't make. What does
Right.
make it mean? But
No,
you,
totally.
You have that.
It's all about like I love that quote about the road less traveled, and I feel like for me, being a hip hop star was never like the goal in the first place. I just wanted to get this art out there, right?
Yeah.
I had these things I wanted to talk about and express, and I wanted to express them, and people listen when I rap, but I found that I could have the same impact writing.
Yes.
In fact, I started off writing, kind of got talked into doing rap.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a matter of like just going back, like now I can focus on doing poetry. Now I can focus on writing articles. I can focus on other artists. I can work on building up other artists. I can contribute in the studio to artists when they're writing. But hey, how about saying it like this, as opposed to holding those things back for myself and being that guy that wants to be the big homie, but also wants to be the star.
Yeah.
Because I never really wanted to be a star. That was never really the thing, you know. So it was just like I just wanted to share and be helpful. So I found this was just a better way to do it. And sometimes you have to open yourself up to not getting stuck in your craft. I have 10,000 hours rapping now. I need to keep on doing this forever, as opposed to, you know what, I'm going to just pick up a camera and start from zero.
I already put $30 into the machine. If I don't make back 500, then I've lost everything, you know?
Exactly.
Well, and I think it's really cool too that you see the other avenues that, you know, as far as like writing and stuff like that, because I know like with me doing comedy, I would judge myself and be like, oh, well, if I'm not doing comedy, then I wasted all that time. And it's like, no, the ability to talk to people, the ability to control a room, the ability to write, you know, and budget for time. Those are all things that you can apply to other areas. So,
and even like I told my son recently, he just finished his senior year of basketball at Benson. And he was like, you know, like a kind of down, you know, 'cause he's like, you know, this is my last bit, you know, I'm done. And I was like, you know, what was cool though is like at your age, like you can literally start a thing and finish a thing and then go do something else. Like it's like you really have that ability. Like there's a lot. There was a thing. And there's another thing.
Wrong
There's
with
another
that.
thing.
Like being so focused
like
on one thing.
At my
and then,
big age, like I do something, I might not come back out the hole the same way.
You're still young.
I started basketball season. I might lose an ankle or something. You know what I mean? So it's like it's worth it when you're young. Just go out and do things. Don't get so caught up in one funnel.
Yeah,
you know, see the
definitely.
whole world, you know?
I feel like society kind of tells you that you pick a career and that's what you do for the rest of your life. But that doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work for a lot of people, and that's okay.
It's depressing, honestly, if you get so caught up in one funnel and it's not going the way that you like. That's why they always say, you know, don't stick all your eggs in one basket. Like you want to.
Where the hell do I put all these eggs? Like,
right, you gotta have other baskets in case this basket goes funky. You gotta be able
multiple baskets. I get it. Okay.
Lots of eggs, multiple baskets.
True.
Oh, that's really cool. So what has kind of been your focus, I guess, now that you're getting a little bit older? Like, it sounds like you really enjoy putting people on, because hip hop, it sounds like it has a really important place in your life, you know. So you put on those people that you do appreciate.
I mean, to me, hip hop is like my activism, and it always kind of has been. So like when the protests popped off, it was still like, you know, things kind of like I had a larger following all of a sudden, so people didn't really understand who I was and who I am, and they kind of put things on you. But I'm a hip hop guy, and hip hop is our activism. It always kind of has been. It's always been a matter of, you know, fuck the police, you know, push forward, you know, do what we have to do, express our culture.
Yeah.
You know, a Star Child, R.I.P. You know, he pushed for Hip Hop Day. You know, to kind of just change the culture and the understanding around hip hop and what it is that we do, what rap music is, what it's not. Who we are as black people, you know, people of color and the oppressed. So just to me, that's all a part of what it is. Freedom of speech, all that stuff is right there in hip hop, you know. And it's like, if we don't have to always like reinvent the wheel. Sometimes we have to change the wheel a little bit and redesign the wheel. But it's all there. It's all there.
I like that. Redesign the wheel. Yeah, it's not reinventing it. It's redesigning it.
Don't reinvent it. Reimagine the wheel.
Reimagine it. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, it's good to have that base, and then definitely. So, how have you seen the hip hop world climate change in Portland since you first started?
I mean, when we started doing hip hop shows, we used to have to just rock out in the back of rock venues. That was pretty much it. It was placed with black walls, ugly stages, you know. Like bring your own sound system. We used to get down, right? So I mean, that's how it used to be. I remember our first rap show was done at the old, before they moved and revamped, at the old arcade downtown. What's it called? Ground Control. It used to just be like a box, like a hole in the wall with black walls and some arcade machines set up against the wall.
I mean, that's kind of a cool vibe, but
and
maybe not what you're looking for.
And so we used to like push all the arcades into like one corner and build this little stage up, and we just rock there. Like, it was like our crew. We like
the DIY is so cool.
We didn't even have like sets worked out. We just had like a DJ who was just like, "Yo, I'm gonna play this one next," and we're like, "Okay, you hope you know your lyrics, bro," you know.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, it was like super like, hey,
it was like an open mic.
You know, it was totally open mic vibes everywhere, every rap show. You know, it was like you could go and catch like Cool Nuts at the Ash Street a saloon.
Yeah.
And it would be like packed out, but it was still a really crappy venue.
Yeah.
You know, and like now it's different. Like now we have hip hop everywhere. We're doing hip hop on the waterfront. There's hip hop concerts downtown. There's hip hop concerts in clubs. You know, so it's like we have Kelly's now. It used to just be like a biker bar. Now we have like it's like a go-to destination for out of state people to come see hip hop.
When somebody first told me about it, about shows there, I was like, "What kind of, is this like a butt rock band? Like, what are we doing here?"
I mean, sometimes it is.
You roll up and there's like a hanging motorcycle, and you're like, "Huh, okay."
Yeah. Or 20 hanging motorcycles.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, you're like, okay.
Right.
I'm gonna rap here? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a part of the, you know, the aesthetic. Like when we first went to I started doing shows at Kelly's. That they had been supporting hip hop, you know, as much as they could, and they got their capacity slashed for it. They cut their capacity to like 55 or something for like a year, and they rocked with us, you know. So that's part of the reason why I stayed at Kelly's was because they stayed with us, you know, hip hop. So, you know, even though the owners it's like you wouldn't have expected them to support us, they did, and they have. So
well, that's always the thing that I've noticed with venues is it's like you could have a really cool venue, but if they don't want you there, then it's not that cool. Because I've definitely had venues
Holocene.
Yeah.
Come out, I'm sorry, allergies.
Oh, I thought you were like, you know, like you were. I was
so
like.
some venues don't want you there. How do you know? You just like feel the vibes, or they just don't?
Me,
it's like always you reaching out, or
it's two things. I don't really ever expect anyone to reach out to me. I reach out if I want something, but for me, it's when they do stuff like have the cops outside when you're doing
That's
a show.
pretty clear. That's a big hint.
When they charge like an extra $1,000 because it's going to be all ages, things like that. You know, it's like that's where you see like, okay, you guys don't want this business. You guys just want a transaction. Yeah. You just want to charge me. So
they actually had the cops waiting out there.
Yeah,
Wow,
they told.
okay. I've never seen that, but
a few years back we did a show, a concert series. It was a community thing. It was a fundraiser for Boise Elliott Humboldt School, and it was all ages. We did it. It was right after Nipsey Hussle died, and so I did like a hip hop thing that was like honoring Nipsey Hussle and what he it was like a STEM. We were like raising money for STEM programs, and Holocene basically told the cops it was like a gang event, and let the cops just like hang out outside, and they like harassed them when they came to our show.
Wow.
And then they shut it down early, saying it was too late or something. Like at 10 o'clock, they were like, "Stop letting people in." And I'm like, "Well, you know, where'd our crowd go?" And they're like, I was the whole night. I'm just basically just like, you know, negotiating with cops and letting people in. He was already in, let him back in, you know, that kind of thing. They're like working the door essentially. So it's
Are
like,
you the door person? Are you collecting money now? Because that'd
they
be
just,
cool.
Like sat in Sassy's parking lot and just harassed everyone that came over, and it was just like it was really wild. So stuff like that is super annoying. That's how I know that venues don't rock with you. They saw like 3 black guys. Like it was me. Like I run a magazine, and Donovan. He's like.
What's the name of your magazine?
We Out Here magazine.
We Out Here.
Yeah,
and
We
then,
Out Here.
And then Donovan runs. At the time, he was writing for the Scanner and worked at Beyond Black. And then Karanja, who owns Green Hop, and also was a teacher. So like that's who's doing this event, and they were like, "It's a gang event."
Man, that's so
They
frustrating.
basically just like labeled as Crips, and
Wow.
Yeah.
because Nipsey was on the flyer.
Jesus. Oh man, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Yeah, I've definitely had experiences where it's like if the venue doesn't want you there, then it's like they kind of make it clear, and it's uncomfortable, you know, because it's kind of like, you know, they make those things where it's, because I remember I started a music open mic, and in the place that I had started it, like I got the vibe that like they just didn't want us there, and it's like it takes something that's already like you know, I don't want to say uncomfortable experience, but it's like performing is kind of uncomfortable, you know, and then it's like, okay, now you don't want me here, like,
right? Like there's no flow state if you're just hating on me the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. You know, it's that good old Oregon racism.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
that's what it boils down
microaggression.
to.
This is kind of big micro.
I'm just gonna microaggression you to death until you go away. Got rid of the lash law, but we'll try to.
Well, I'm glad that you're not going away, and that you're providing space for these hip hop artists in Portland. Do you do shows other than the Thesis? Do you put together currently any other shows?
I do on occasion. It's been like a slow start. We're kind of just getting back out of the pandemic. So I
Going
do.
back to normal.
Yeah, going back to normal. So I plan on definitely doing some different productions. In the meantime, I've just kind of been throwing our logo on stuff and helping to like promote and stuff. Like we had the J.A. Jury show we sponsored after the Thesis. So on Friday this last week, and then we had the Culture Shock at the Memorial Coliseum
Yeah, Culture Shock was
a few
nuts.
months ago. So yeah, just stuff like that, just kind of getting involved, helping out behind the scenes, and not making it like a Mac event, but making it other like the other stuff as well.
Well, I mean, that's really cool that you're using the platform that you've developed to boost other people.
That's the whole point of the platform.
Right? No, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the point of your platform. Not
Yeah.
everybody does that.
That's
Some
true.
people are like,
That's-
"Cool, I made it."
That's what I do too. I mean, my platform isn't as big as yours, but that's what I do too. And
It
it's
will be.
mostly like I don't want to be in the spotlight. I want to put bring other people up and
Yeah.
put other people in the spotlight who are more talented than I am.
Right. I mean, like back when I took over We Out Here, I was basically like the goal was to go out and find the artists and bring them in, find their audiences, and then share them with the other people's audiences that we also found.
Exactly.
And that's pretty much what it's all about. Like in the process, we kind of like developed our own audience, but that's cool because like we're just going out and we're just sharing. It's like we're like the honeybee of the hip hop scene.
Yeah.
Just go out and pollinate from place to place. to
Yeah.
place, and that's kind of the whole goal. So we
No.
stay moving.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So, who are some of your favorite hip hop artists in Portland?
Oh.
I know you don't want to.
Easy Money. It's Easy Money.
Money?
I love.
Okay.
I love Easy Money. He's my
talking,
favorite.
I love talking about this guy's name. Nobody named Easy Money. That's actually a dope rap name though. I might come back with Easy Money. Yo, check it.
Hey, it's your boy.
It's your boy Easy Money. Holding down for the 5-0 tray. No, it's, some of my favorite artists in Portland right now, I gotta go with Mike Capes. Always killing it, always doing great. Gotta go with Swiggle Mandela. I love Sote. I feel like she's super underrated. She's got
Yeah.
so much that's coming up.
I love her.
Even outside of just plain hip hop, we got Vina right now. Vina Baby, she's amazing. Zaya Bell, absolutely amazing. Issa, absolutely amazing world artist music. World music artist. So there's just a ton of great artists here. I mean, there's so many. I mean, like even like just meeting like a Khalil last week at
Yeah.
the show. He's down in LA now, but he's from Portland. He's actually.
Sure.
He's like related to Tony Ozier, who's like one of my favorite, the doo-doo funk, jam like master.
Yeah.
So these are all guys that like I totally just grew up with and am now growing into. And
Yeah.
there's so many artists here. I could go on for days. I think we've booked over 130 artists from the Thesis.
130.
Wow.
We've raised over like 40 grand that we've distributed completely. We take no money out of it. We give
Wow.
all
Yeah,
the
that's
money
what I was
back
going to ask
artists.
too. So,
Yeah.
so you give it back to the artist, or do you give it
Yeah,
back to the
we
community?
give it all back to the
I mean,
artists.
they're part of the community.
Yeah, they are part of the community.
Yeah.
So a kind of, a big thing in local rap is like artists don't get paid properly.
Yes.
And so that was also a thing that we had with the Thesis.
Performance in general.
And like I'm a socialist,
Yeah.
Everyone knows I'm a socialist. I've always been a socialist. It's just the way I am. And so I was like, we're going to have this show, and what we're going to do is we're going to make it super fair. We're going to have door, and then we're going to have artists, and then we're going to split the money up, and we're going to walk away. Right? So like at the end of every show, and now Verbs does it. Shout out to Verbs. That's the guy right there. But I used to do it for like years until the pandemic, and now we just switched roles. I would just go to the door, and I'd be like, okay, what do we make? And they'd be like, we got this, and I'd count it out. Then I'd put like a stack of money between each finger, and I'd walk around and give everybody a stack of money. Boom, boom, boom. That was my favorite
Just on the spot.
part of the
Yeah.
night. Yep, like
Yeah.
show's over, you guys, like we're still just hanging out. I'm like, hey guys, here's $200. It's $200.
Yeah.
And now it's more because we charge 15 in advance and 20 at the door.
Yeah.
We got a capacity of about 100. So like this last show we sold out about 112. So do the math,
Yeah.
And then you have
I hate
4
math.
artists.
Don't make me.
It's like 500 a piece. You know what I mean? Like let's
Yeah.
knock that money out.
Yeah.
So it's like if you can pay artists $500 to come do a show, they'll fly here.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They'll fly here from Seattle, $500 in a
Oh,
heartbeat.
easy.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Or even just for the potential of $500. And so also it gives everyone the incentive to promote without doing like this like selling tickets and weird kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not really a big fan. I shouldn't call it weird. People do that. And it's okay. But
Yeah.
for me, it's kind of weird. I don't like having like the artists go out and sell tickets in the bars and try to get people to come out and
Yeah.
like, having like your performance ranking.
If you don't sell enough, then you owe us money. It's
No,
like, this
I'm
is
trying
weird.
to like build an experience for our fans. So
Yeah.
like, for me, it's about like having the characters I want in each show.
Yeah.
Right. And then like building out like this last one was like a world music thing. So we went and got like these certain artists, and we brought artists in from other places, and we book these shows like months in advance, and we kind of just build it out, and then it's like the pay. It's like everyone's so involved in the creation that the pay sometimes it's even like a get discussed. Like I had a few folks that were like, I get paid for this, and that was like,
Oh yeah.
I'm hearing
oh
you like
yeah.
like $280, and they're like, I get paid for this. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like, I was just
bro.
doing this for fun.
They're like,
Dude, for
they're like,
real.
so I get to do the show and get paid, and I'm like, what have you been doing out here? You're just doing shows for free. Like, you're an artist, get paid for your work. So it's like for us, it's a
Absolutely.
big thing, and so I feel like it's helped also to kind of raise the bar, because like,
Good. Yeah.
especially like on really pop-in, sold-out shows. There's been a few shows where like the opener has sold out pretty much, and then everyone left, and then it sold out again. You know, so it was like 200 tickets. You know what I mean? And you'll have these huge things like this one night. I remember we had to. I was paying out Martell Webster because he actually played in the NBA for like 10 years, but I stays in Vancouver, and he started like a record label. So he's
Okay.
and so Erst is a record label that he helped like fund and start.
Yeah.
And so he had a bunch of artists on a show one time, and then he came out and performed as well. So it was huge. Like NBA player, he's 6'8", 6'7". He comes in,
Yeah.
and his wife, all his kids are like, all 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And everyone walks in, and it was so sold out. They were like, "Sorry, sir, you can't come in." I was like, "Yo, you gotta let him
That's
in.
fucking
That's
baller.
the one. We can't. You gotta let." I don't
Can you
care
imagine
what-
having an event
I'll-
that's so
I'll just kick
busy?
somebody else out. He gotta come in, right? But like, I give him the money at the end of the night. It's like $300, $400, and he's like. I'm like, you gotta take the money. Everybody takes the money. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, he like
That's
takes the
fucking-
money.
man.
But like, yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Like,
No,
everyone has to take
that's something that like definitely happens in comedy as well, where it's just like we want to get paid for what we do, but we almost don't expect to get paid.
Right.
So because it's at the end of the day, we enjoy doing what we do, but also at the end of the day, we spent a lot of time building up that craft,
Yep.
like writing those songs, editing those songs, fucking hating it after that, paying for the beat. There's so much that goes into that
Right.
that you never see the money ever come back.
Right.
And to I mean, if I were to get paid $500 for one show, I'd be like, okay, now this isn't me just
Right.
putting money into this. This is
Right.
me getting money back.
Right, and that's the whole idea.
And I was gonna say, like, I feel like when you're first starting as an artist, you do shows to promote, and you don't really
Yeah.
think that you're gonna get paid. I'm not an artist, so I'm just like,
No, you're right.
Yeah.
but that's what it seems like to me. Like, my friends who are artists, it's like,
Yeah.
until they become more well known, they
Yeah.
kind of expect just to do it for promotion.
For-
And that's
yeah, you get
amazing
paid
that
in
you can actually
exposure.
pay
But
them.
see, that's like one of the traps of capitalism, though, especially at this level, and we do it to ourselves, because it's like the promoters aren't even like really up there, they're not even like the big capitalists. It's just like some guy that's trying to get paid, you know what I mean? And so like the Thesis is trick was just like cut out the promoter.
Yeah.
We always complain about the shady promoter. The promoter's still in
Yeah.
the promoters. Cut the promoter out. What do you need a promoter for?
Yeah.
If you have good artists and you have a brand, like what do you need a promoter for? We have
Promotes
everything
itself,
there.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just cut out the middleman.
No, I really.
Comedy is what you guys need to do is just have a show where everyone gets paid, and people will stop doing the shows where they don't get paid.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. A lot of people were like, "Yo, everyone wants to do the Thesis." Like, yeah, no one wants to do your show because you don't pay anybody. Why would I do your show every month or twice a month, 3 times a month, right? For no money. This is
Yeah.
like twice a year, make $1,000.
I had to take
Yeah.
time off of work to be here. You
Right.
realize that,
I
right?
used to go to shows with like pulling my tie off. I
Yeah.
walk in the door.
Exactly.
I feel like on my lunch break, like run out to the park block, do a hip hop shit at the PSU, and then run back to work.
Dude,
like,
oh yeah,
you know.
I've hit like open mics in between my lunch break where I'm just like on my 30 and I'm just like, just put me up real quick, then I gotta
Let
go.
me knock this down, I got some jokes.
Yeah, just I need 3 minutes, okay?
Yeah, we were kind of talking about this. Like, I don't mind like live streaming. I feel so comfortable doing that. But like actually performing on stage takes guts unless you're just like used to it. I just couldn't imagine, going from work on my lunch break to go and perform. Like, just being mentally prepared for that. Like,
You're not, but like performing is so addictive.
Yeah.
Standing in front of a crowd.
You ever smoked
and-
weed on your lunch break?
Ever smoke weed and do a show on your lunch break? but like, for real, like, just performing is such a rush that like it's like an addiction. Like it's better than drugs. You know what I mean? So like just hopping on a stage, whether it's like if I'm hooping in front of a big crowd or I'm rapping in front of a big crowd or I'm on a platform in front of a big crowd just giving a speech, like that adrenaline hits and it's like you hit that state
Yeah.
and you just go. You know what I
Nothing,
mean?
nothing else can recreate
Everything
that
else
feeling.
is just like it's just like zoned out, and the crowd is just like your energy, and you're just eating off that crowd. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's worth it. I'll hop. I'd hop off an airplane and do that. You know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, so it kind of energizes you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
So was it like that at the beginning, or was it like you had to get over your nerves, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, I'm comfortable doing this now?
I mean, yeah. When I first hopped on a rap stage, I was nervous as hell. I was like, yo, I'm about to rap, and I like almost like forgot the verse, you know, and then like I forgot a verse and had to like freestyle the rest of it. So yeah, you get really like nervous and you get concerned. I was probably way too high, but like you kind of figure it out. You find the sweet spot, you know, and then like, but yeah, I mean, the first time I hit that stage, it felt the same way it felt like playing a high school basketball game.
Yeah.
Like everyone's looking at you. You get
Like, I really suck at this.
You get yeah. You get tunnel, I'm off the bench. Yes. You get that tunnel vision, you know, and it's like, you know, it's exciting. It's very, you know. But then like as soon as but it's a big deal. Like if you're on stage and people are looking at you, it's a whole different feeling than if you're on stage and people are looking at someone else. So it's a different deal. Like if you're in the front, it's just the same as like playing sports. If like you're the man, all the pressure's on you, it's one thing. If you're like a side guy, it's kind of like just don't mess up, you know. And at first when you like rapping, it's like just don't mess up, just get your bars off, you know. Get the bars off.
Right.
Don't forget the bars. You're sitting there like saying your bars while the other person's rapping ahead of you. Like okay, here we because like I was in a rap group, you know. So like,
Okay.
to pop in, yo, and then
Yeah.
You have to like hop in on time and know where you're coming in. That kind of
Yo,
stuff.
Beastie Boys.
Yeah, you Beastie Boy style. You know?
Da-da-da.
Yeah. It was more like Wu-Tang for us. We just didn't have hooks.
Oh,
We
okay.
were just rapping. Yo, check it. I'm from New York, you know. That kind of stuff. So it was like, you know, it was
Sounds
cool.
amazing.
It was super fun, but it was super juvenile. Super
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, it's just it's intoxicating from day one. The first time I did it, I was like, I got to get better and do this again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and just the fact that like even though it's not something that you're currently doing, because a lot of people like will start an open mic so that way they have a place to perform. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And like people will do shows
I
where
have
they're
never
just
rapped
like,
a thesis.
damn, that is
Not
an
yet.
accomplishment.
Never
That is
done
an
it.
accomplishment.
Never
But
done it.
that shows how like selfless that it is of you to try and set that up. You know what I mean?
Also, I
Because-
want folks to come back, you know.
Also, they won't let me.
I keep going with this. Mac keeps rapping. You know, oh my god. Tell him to stop.
At this point, it would be awesome. People would be like, "Holy shit, he's been holding out on us."
They might be. It's been long enough now.
Yeah.
People are like, are you ever gonna rap again? I'm like, dog, I haven't rapped since like 2010, bro. Leave me
Hey,
alone.
damn,
Oh, that
man,
long?
dude.
Wow.
Hey,
It's been a
this-
minute, it's been a minute.
all right,
2011,
well,
I think. Yeah.
Wow.
that's how you make a comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. If I get the right beat, I keep saying if I get
Wait
the
for
right
that
beat
comeback.
one day,
If
but
I get the right beat, okay, all right. I'm just gonna start sending you beats and being like, "Is it this one? How about this one?"
Right.
you never know. I might have like secret tracks out there. You know.
Yeah, see,
Oh, watch out.
yep. He's rapping under an alias.
Who's that guy? Easy Money.
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks.
So, what musician or like rapper, hip hop artist inspired you when you were young to rap? For me, I'll start off. It was Snoop Dogg and Coolio, which are kind of silly. I mean, but they're great. But my parents didn't let me listen to hip hop. They didn't let me listen to rap. I secretly listened to like NWA and all those other guys, and I found out later where the good music was at.
Yeah.
So for you, when did you start getting into hip hop? Was it something you always listened to, or?
My parents also really didn't let me listen to rap. My first
Okay.
CD was Cooley High Harmony by Boyz II Men, and I was an R&B kid. You know, I listened to R&B and stuff, and jazz and whatnot. And as I got older into my preteens and whatnot, I started like discovering like Naughty by Nature at my friend's house. Like, what is this? Because I hate shit. And I was like, I like this a lot, you know. This is vibey. My dad was like, oh, this is real hip hop, and put on like, you know, the old stuff. Like he put on like what was
Sugar
it?
Hill Gang.
Sugar Hill Gang, yeah. He put on hip hop. 11 whole minutes.
Dude,
no
they
one-
said
no one's
hip-hop.
ever rapped for 11 minutes, and I'm like, I see why. Long song, bro. Really long song. Woo. But you know, so like as I got. You know, so I used to also have to like sneak. I remember, I think I was like 13
your
or
little
14.
Walkman?
Yeah.
My little Walkman, it would skip. So I had to like hold like this so it wouldn't skip, you know. I had the Discman. I was cool. So, I remember I came home one day from the mall and I was at Sam Goody and my mom took a bag and she was like,
Sorry, you just aged all of us right there. I was like, fucking Sam Goody.
I forgot about Sam Goody.
I know, right?
How could I forget?
So I was at Radio Shack, and you're like, holy shit.
My mom's like, oh, what you got in the bag? Got some music you want to play for us? And I'm like, no. no, I don't. You know?
It's just Backstreet Boys.
And my dad's like, come put that in the stereo. Let's see what's listening to.
Oh,
And it was like,
man.
I had like the Nutty Professor soundtrack, you know? So it's like, it's not even gangster at all, you know?
Yes.
But it had a couple of songs on there. It had like Richie Rich, and it had like a pillow, like play your head on the pillow.
You're cracking.
Yeah, baby. You know, it's all about like smoking weed. And like I played it, and my mom's like, oh, I like this song. And I'm like, okay, she doesn't know what the
Pillows are
bag of
nice.
weed. She doesn't realize that that's great. You know, and then like it had like the LL Cool J doing it. And so I skipped that one. I was like, beep, beep. You know, like I said, like, I don't want that happening at all. I was like, I'm just gonna ignore that one. My parents are not gonna hear me listen to LL Cool J. I was a huge LL Cool J fan. I loved LL Cool J. I loved the Jay-Z, like back in the day, like Feeling It, Jay-Z, like Volume 1. You know, like in my lifetime, Jay-Z was like what I was really into. You know, I was always inspired. I wasn't really the biggest fan of like Nas and Snoop. Those guys were like just, you know, they just had such a cool style. Like they were able to just get it in. But
This is way cooler than I can pull off.
But then also, like, I really liked like Cameron and like Pace One,
Hey, Ma.
Outsiders, Red
Yep.
Man, Wu Tang.
Okay.
Like that was like
Okay.
my other side. Like I was like, oh, I like this hard guttural stuff. Like I like the
Yeah.
stuff where they had the big voices, of boom bop, boom bop. You know, like
Yeah.
you know all that
Yeah.
kind. You know, A Loud Scratch. You know, like I was into that
Okay.
kind of stuff. You know the, what's his name? A Cool G Rap.
Cool G Rap,
You
okay.
know, the super lyrical. So I like the super cool guys, but I always like I wanted to rap like the super lyricals. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just it just gives you different energy. Like the cool
For
guy
sure.
raps is super cool. Like everyone loves it. The girls are like, yo, you're cool. But
Yeah.
like the other raps, it was like, yo, like you get this feeling in your chest.
Yeah,
And people
yeah.
start like, yo, I'm gonna hop in. You know, like
Yeah, exactly.
I like to like generate that kind of energy. So
No,
for
well,
me, it
it's-
was all about that.
I think that's cool that you have an appreciation for, you know, where you're just like, hey, I appreciate cool rap, but like that's not what I want to do, you know? Like
I wanted to, I just wasn't good at it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But no, as somebody
Not
who
cool
can
like
also relate with not being as cool as I'm like, this is cool, but that's not me. You know, that's how I ended up getting into, you know, a lot of like underground stuff is because it was they were telling stories that I could relate with, you know, and I feel like that's kind of the thing that inspires you or, you know, really helps you connect with an artist where you're like, either I want to create this because somebody made it for me, or I want to listen to this because this is, you know, this was made for people
Totally.
like me.
And I wish I hadn't been such a hater too, because I was like, I was a hater. I was like, you know, I'm a rap guy, so I'm a hater. I'm like, no draking, no singing, no nothing.
Yeah.
And I could actually carry a little tune, so I kind of messed up. I could have I could have
See?
been like Drake before Drake, but I kind
See?
of messed up. I mean, like an uglier Drake before Drake, but still a Drake before Drake. You know what I mean? A little darker, not mixed, not from Canada, no money, no dad from Memphis, but still, I mean,
Wasn't on
I could have been like Drake before Drake. You know what I mean?
I was
still
like
do it.
Drake, except nothing.
Yeah, 40-year-old Drake,
I
not
mean,
Drake.
Cardi B, isn't she like 35 or something?
Who's that?
Cardi B, isn't she like 35?
Cardi B is like 35, but she's yeah, she got famous when she was like 28. You know, I'm like 41.
Well, we're still here for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just turned 30 like
There you
this
go.
year,
It's
so
golden years.
yeah, absolutely, and that. But
Golden
that's
years.
I feel like I want to pass that same thing to you. You know, it's like you now
But
have.
like my knee hurts right now. Like it's different. It's different.
You can sit and rap though.
Dude, you know, it'd be super cool is if you sat and rap. You know what I'm saying? If you want to
Yo.
be
Yeah, you
cool,
can start that.
Check it.
start singing too. I
Yeah.
already saw you had that R&B
You're
vibe.
right. I gotta just go with it. Just go with it now.
Yeah, well, I mean, as somebody who just turned 30, I had that same, I guess, sort of fear of like, well, I didn't do, you know, like all the rappers that I listen to are like, yo, I'm like 23 and fucking, I'm struggling. And I'm just like, man, motherfucker, you don't know. You know what I
Does
mean?
your
And
back
it's
hurt
like,
right now? You're not struggling.
yeah, does your back hurt right now?
You don't even pay rent.
Yeah. Yo, my mom's fucking rude now. I gotta live with her. It's like you don't know, but it's like I think that like I had to go through a certain amount of experience to rap about the things that I rap about now
Facts.
because you know a younger person than myself wouldn't have had anything to say, and you know my worry is like when I see older rappers being like, oh well, there's no place for me, and it's just like no, there's. I will be able to relate with you. 23-year-old dude living with his mom, he might not be able to, but that doesn't mean you don't have a place. You just don't have a place with him.
I have a lot to rap about. I mean, I got a wild family. I got everything going on.
Yeah.
I got shot in the head in the protest. I got shot like 50 Cent. You know, so I mean,
Yeah.
I got plenty to rap about. But at the same time, like, I don't know, man. it would just be so much energy. I feel like at some point I'm gonna drop like a couple of verses on something and just be like, I'm cool with that, and then I can just play them over and over again and feel happy.
Dips.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't
I mean,
say that into the
I kind
mic.
of feel the same way. I'm in my 30s. I'm not going to say exactly how old I am, but
you're in your 20s.
thank you. But yeah, like people are like, oh, you should be an actress. You should start this and that. I'm like, I just want to put other people on and talk to these people who are doing big things. Like, I don't have the energy to like just start this like, you know, new career where I have to go on stage and like have all this energy. Like, I just want to like watch it and, you know,
I just want to say
showcase other people doing it.
really quick, they say they don't have the energy, but all of this, the chairs, the microphone, the camera, all of this is Carissa. You have so much energy. You're also running a CBD business. Like, I'm honored to be here with both of you because I get to see two people who had an idea and just made it happen, you know? Like, they're like, there's a space for this, there needs to be this, I'm just going to make it, you know? As somebody who's might be a little bit younger, I look up to people who show that, like, age doesn't matter, you know? Like, that's a limit you put on yourself.
Facts. Big
True.
facts.
True.
Big facts.
You're over here and you have 3 podcasts. Like, you're doing big things too.
Drive myself crazy, pew, pew, pew.
And you got jokes.
No, I get motivated by seeing people follow their passion, you know, because not everybody does that. Everybody says, hey, it would be cool to start a podcast. Everybody says it would be cool to start a business. And you literally have both, you know what I mean? And like, you literally were like, oh, I'm not doing rap anymore. Like, you're not doing it to put yourself on. You're doing it because you have a passion for it.
Yeah.
You're doing it because you want to see those people succeed.
Yeah.
Like, there's, I don't know. I'm really just gifted with being around some really cool people.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
make me blush over here.
you're my type of people. Like, I saw you at the Thesis, like, taking pictures, and I was like, I'm like, now you're the photographer? Like, you do a little bit of everything. I love that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish that I was the type of person who could have this, like, 9-to-5 job and just, like, sit at an office and be content with doing that.
Yeah.
But it's like, I have all these projects. I can't, like, just focus. I mean, yeah, I got to
Yeah.
focus on all of them. You got to do all
Even
the
when I
things.
have 95, I still have to do all these projects.
Yeah,
There's just
same.
no way. I'll just sleep less. Like, there's just no way.
Yeah.
I can't, like, I gotta get money. Don't
Go
get me
sleep,
wrong,
gang.
but, like, you know, I gotta do these projects, so it's gotta come out. Otherwise, I'll just be, like, depressed.
Yeah.
I'll be, like, legit depressed. If I
Yeah,
just like, went
same.
to work and got off work and came home and watched TV, you know, like, I call it the
You're depressing the shit out of me just saying those things.
that whole
in
like
that
Yeah,
order.
your garage life. Like you leave your garage, go pull in the garage, go to work, come back
Yeah.
out the garage, go back in
The
your
garage
garage,
life,
go
I've
watch the
never heard
TV.
that,
Go
yeah.
back
Yeah, I
to the
haven't
garage.
either.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Where it's like you never actually like see outside.
Yeah.
Except like in your yard or on your lunch break. Like, it's like your outside time. Like that's super weird to me.
Yeah.
I can't live like that.
My
It's just-
outside time is going to and from work, you know,
Right.
or to lunch.
Right. Like in fact, like I used to like just to park the car and just catch a bus just to be
Yeah,
amongst
go see
people because
something.
it's super weird to like not see anyone on the way to work. Like to me, that's just super strange. Like there's so many experiences that I get out of life just riding the bus or
Yeah.
just like riding my bike to work. Like I would rather just do that than sit in a car and just or
Like
on a
be on
bus with the
autopilot.
headphones on. You know,
Yeah.
just toned out. To me, it's weird. Just so much that's going on. You got to see.
Yeah,
It.
yeah.
That's why folks don't care. It's because they don't see it. They can just get. in
Well,
their
yeah,
car,
it's
you know?
it's easy to be disconnected from people that you don't interact with, you know.
Exactly.
But like the second that you ride the bus and you're like, oh, this person who is, you know, we always like, oh, you got to pick yourself up by your bootstraps. It's like this person's literally trying, you know,
Right,
like,
right.
and it's not until you interact with them doing their best that you can really, you know, just appreciate.
Have some empathy and whatnot.
Yeah.
And have a chance to even like use your empathy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of us have it, and it's just out of practice because we just don't talk to people. We just don't see people. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like an integral a part of every day of just like making sure like I'm stopping and talking to people or seeing
Yeah.
people.
And remembering that you're part of this community.
Yeah, that I'm
too.
part of the community.
Yeah.
I'm not just like a guy that like does stuff in it. You know what I mean? But I'm actually a part of it. So that's how. And like for me, folks will ask me, how come you never like have like a big issue with people or whatever? And that's why, because I'm a part of communities. Like even if I'm not popular in the community, I'm still a part of it. You know what I mean? And I'm still there, and people know that I'm safe. I'm not a problem. I'm not going to cause
Yeah.
you issues,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. Or you know, if you like me or not, I'm still a part of your town. I'm still a part of your city.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I like that you said that empathy is a practice, just because it is one of those things where it's like, it's something that you have to do with intention.
Yeah.
Because it's not an easy reaction to things. It's not easy for somebody else to have a problem and you go, but why are they feeling this way?
Right.
It's so much easier to be like, sounds like it's your problem.
Run.
So, ooh, at least I know which way not to go to work. Not taking this bus.
Not taking this bus no more.
This is why I got a car, and then you just drive away.
And we all have that limit. It's that
absolutely,
point.
absolutely.
You're like, I'm not riding the bus for a few days. It's been a lot. But at the same time, it's like you have to come back to it. You have to. You can't like stay in your trauma responses.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I like that.
It's okay to have trauma responses. It happens, but you have to also like grow and heal.
Yeah.
It's super important. So like otherwise you can't do this work. You can't go work with people who need help if you are stuck in your own responses.
Yeah, that's.
You have to like be able to see it, absorb it, feel it.
You're booked for the smoke break.
Time, and then
let it go,
then you can
and then
get back.
to the work. But you have to get that me time. It's just balance, like everything in life, just balance.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Well, I'm really excited to see, the things that you have in store for our community. Is there something that actually, this should be your question, because you always ask me this. What are you excited about for
What are you
your
excited
future in the music scene?
I'm so excited about a lot of things. I'm really excited about the things that we have planned for the thesis, obviously, coming up. Thesis.
Hey.
This summer, we've got some really great shows plotted out. I'm working on a few events in coordination with the NAACP to kind of help with some planning and funding of things.
Wow.
And so I'm planning a couple of outdoor events. So that should be really exciting. I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about not marching, hopefully, this year. I don't want to have to march at all this year. That would be fun to not do. I would rather be doing things that are growing our communities in different ways at this point. So, and I'm excited about the summer coming. I mean, I'm sure it's raining
Winters
right now
in
outside.
Portland are so long,
It's
guys.
been like hailing and 75
from
degrees on the
here.
same day, so I can't wait for like the summer to actually come.
Everybody's so much happier.
If you haven't ever been to Portland, like there's nothing like a Portland summer. It's just like the most beautiful thing ever. So I really can't wait for that, as long as the fires don't start. So super excited. Super excited for all that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on our show. We're at like almost getting close to an hour-ish. Maybe 48 minutes.
Hey.
But yeah, I really appreciate you and all the things that you do for Portland and the community. Thank you so much for being here. I know that you have like a family and you have multiple jobs and things that you do, so I really appreciate your time.
No doubt at all. I mean, honestly, it's a pleasure. The kids are watching the kids, so I'm good.
You got to that
That's the way
point
to
where
do
they
it.
could, it's
You gotta have some
self-sufficient.
teens, then have a little one.
Yeah. This will solve itself. Where can we find you if we want to kind of follow you, follow your events?
MacSmiff.com, Mac Smiff on Twitter, Mac Smiff on Instagram, Mac Smiff anywhere.
Okay.
That's MacSmiff.
Excellent. Great.
Excellent.
And then you can go to the Thesis every month. What is it?
First Thursday.
First Thursday.
Olympian.
Amazing artists.
Yes.
Like they're always good shows.
Every time.
Yep.
All headliners, all show.
Yeah. Carissa and I went one of the last times, and it was. I loved that show with Roulette Delgado, and Oh man,
he's one of my favorites.
Dude, for real.
That was a banger. Yeah.
So good.
Try to line them up.
Yep. And then, so you live stream on Instagram for that too, right?
I do. I live stream on Instagram just in general, usually on Wednesdays, occasionally on different days. It's called WOM Wednesdays on We Out Here's Instagram. We do a live series, and I just interviewed different people. In the pandemic, in the protests, I kind of got away from like a lot of the music world. So the series is called Back in the Mix, and the idea is I just basically talk to folks that are involved in the community, and I get myself back in the mix.
Very cool.
Excellent. All right, we'll check those out.
Thanks a lot.
Check them out.
Appreciate y'all.
All right.
Yeah. That has been Off the Cuff with Des and Zane. And you say your thing about the donuts, and then I make my sound.
Peace, love, donuts, guys.
Pew, pew.
We'll see you next week or very soon.
Yep. Thanks, guys.